Damn. Damn. Damn, damn, damn. There's probably a lot of white noise in the background. I have multiple things going on. Because I must. It is a must. Right now I'm looking for something. I'm looking for something here. Isn't it fun to look for something? Like an envelope or an envelope, depending on which way you pronounce it. You think people with more money say envelope? And people with less money say envelope? But yeah, I was looking, I still am looking for something to put my cigar ashes in. Well, I don't know. Maybe I won't find anything. It's late. I figured I would do one of these because I've now live streamed for 28 days. So, yep, that's 2 days shy, 3 if you count tonight, of a month of live streaming. I don't even have a knife right here with me, around me, to do what I want to do. So, I just figured I'd do this and do something real chill. I looked at, I test drove 5 cars today. You could say I test drove 6 if you count my rental. But I test drove 4 cars. Test driving cars is, it's fun. Women be shopping, but car shopping is fun, but it's also very exhausting. Regular shopping can be exhausting too, but car shopping is very exhausting because there's so much information. There's really not that much information when you're shopping for other things. You know, there's a lot of numbers involved and a lot of letters. Both of those things I failed in kindergarten. So I'm no good with it. I think that I can, I have multiple things I can do. I can pull up the cars that I test drove. We can talk about it. I can also pull up other cars that I haven't driven yet, and we can talk about it and compare. I have been doing research basically all day on cars, and I have a lot of information to go through myself personally. I don't have to unload all of that on you, but I've been looking up lists of the safest cars out there, the most affordable cars to maintain, the most reliable, and the best gas mileage. It's 11:03 p.m. I have a lot of background noise because I have 2 things going. I have a space heater and I have a fan because I'm about to smoke a cigar, and I just got out of the bathtub. So I'm going to smoke a cigar, or part of a cigar, but I'm still searching for somewhere to put the ashes. I don't have anywhere. I might just have to drop them in this water bottle. That's probably what I'll do. Well, does Panhandler, it says women shouldn't be allowed to purchase a vehicle without a man. Does the salesman who is there count? If he's a man, that counts, right? He's there to guide me. Hello. Mostly I was at the Toyota dealership because I wanted to see everything that Toyota had to offer. So I test drove a Toyota Corolla, a Toyota hatchback, a Toyota Corolla hatchback, a RAV4, and a Honda CRV, which I drove at the Toyota dealership. Then I went over to the Honda dealership and did not realize they close early. So I only showed up about half an hour before they closed. But I got a test drive in for a Honda Civic. So, and I won't say what kind of rental car I'm driving because I'm still driving it. So I can't dox myself there. So what is that? That's 5, 6. I have experience with driving 6 new cars recently. Yes, I gave all of the cars the business. I only slammed on the brakes on one car. I always give the salesman a heads up. That actually just made me realize now I've never had a saleswoman. Wonder why that is. This is going to take a while. So the Toyota Corolla is like one of the most popular cars. It has been for years. And I got to say, I wasn't really impressed. Now, I did drive the base level Toyota Corolla because they didn't have anything else there, but they also did have the Corolla hatchback, so I test drove that as well. Better than the sedan. So smoky. Better than the sedan. And then I drove the Honda CRV. Yeah, the Honda CRV. But I drove a used Honda CRV it was a 2022. So I think that this is clearly a tactic. This is clearly a sales tactic where they go, okay, we have a Honda CRV here. It's a used one. It's 3 years old. But I want you to drive this one so that you can compare it to the 2025 Toyota RAV4. The RAV4 is always going to win when you stack them up. Not when you stack them up, when you put them against each other like that. Always. I'm like, okay, yeah, the RAV4 is clearly better because you forget that the CRV is 3 years old. And I wanted to drive one of the trucks, but I had already driven 4 cars. And I was like, this salesman is tired. They should have switched him out with another guy, but they can't do that. Or another woman, but they can't do that. I love it whenever salespeople do this thing where they act like they're telling you a secret, like just between you and me, just between us. If I'm going to be honest with you, and they'll tell it to you in the car because they act like they can't tell it to you in the office. Like, now that my manager's not here, I'll tell you this. They try to form an alliance with you against their employer. That doesn't work for me. This is already out. I still don't know how to smoke a cigar. I'm still learning, but this is my last cigar ever, probably. I might smoke a couple more, but I don't know when that will be, at some point in my life. I don't know why that went out. This is a Anniversario. What's it called? It was chosen for me, so I don't know. It's called I can't even read it. Something. Oh, Davidoff Anniversario cigar. I don't know. Tastes good to me. All I know about cigars is that they relax me, which is great. Yeah, I definitely will not be inhaling. I'm gonna Bill Clinton this bitch. Oh, wow. That works two ways because he didn't inhale and he did not have sexual relations with that woman. So the Honda CRV felt clunky, but it's on a lot of lists. The Honda CRV is the number 2 safest SUV, according to caranddriver.com. I believe the Honda CRV Hybrid is the number 5 on the list of cars that get the best, SUVs that get the best gas mileage. So I'm looking at a lot of lists. I have paperwork. I left the place with a lot of paperwork and prices. And guess what? Just like every time you go and buy something, like a car, and you have it, my car I had for 7 years. So 8 years maybe. It was a 2017, but I bought it in October. But it was still 2017. So that's 8 years. Oh, nope, that's 7 years. 7.5, whatever. If you go by the month I bought it. 7.5 years. And so I haven't bought a car in 7.5 years. So you go back and a lot of things have changed. Here's what hasn't changed. They're going to fuck you over as much as they can. Come to LA and be a movie star? No, thank you. I'm not good looking enough to be a movie star. Only men can be ugly and be movie stars. This is really going out a lot. I've had it for a while. I've had it for a few weeks, so maybe it's it doesn't feel dried out. It was in there with one of those little humidifying bags. So, yeah. Liam's going to be a big director. I would actually like to see things that Liam directs. I love movies. Everybody does, but I love them. Anyway, so okay, so Toyota, I don't think this is all across the country. I think this may be this particular dealership. Toyota is doing something, it's a requirement where they must tint your windows. And you have to pay $600, more specifically $599 to this dealership so that they can tint your windows. There's one other thing involved in there, some kind of fabric thing for your upholstery. And it costs $599. And the salesman told me this before we went in. He was like, look, I'm just going to give you a heads up. This is a thing. And I'm like, so that's required? And he said, yes, we just started doing it. So this is how they automatically get another $600 from people. And he goes, I can knock off a couple of $100 for you. Because we're friends. He didn't say that part, but that's insinuated. Because I like you. Because I want to give you a break. Cut you a break. I want to give you a deal. I want to cut you a break. So, hi. And so that's another way that they, just get more money out of you. And it's like, that's crazy. But I guess they said, well, people end up getting the windows tinted anyway. So we figured we would just throw it in there. And then when he went in, he brought the paper back, which I don't have in front of me, I don't think. When he brought the paper back, he said, I got a couple hundred knocked off for you. It's only going to be like 400. It's like, I don't want it, I don't need that. I've never had my windows tinted in my life. Sure, it'd be nice, but if you're telling me I must do it, of course I don't want to do it. Hello. I want to give a shout out to Bubba. Bubba sent me a Zelle yesterday. So Thank you so much. That's insane to me. Like I say, every time somebody gives a payment or something, it's insane to me. And I just did some tallies today too, because it's 2 days, like I said, I'm 2 days away from live streaming for 1 month, 30 days. And I didn't do too bad. I didn't do too bad for 1 month. I didn't expect the amount that I made. It's an amount that I won't even say, because I used to say the amount and I think it made people angry or something. I don't know. You better stop it. What are you doing? What are you doing? You have this impulse where you just have to type out the N-word 2 letters at a time. What is that? Some kind of racist Tourette's? Why are you doing that? So, yeah, I'm not like, I don't even want to I don't even want to get a Toyota from that dealership because of that. Why would I do that? There's another thing too, where they're like, okay, we'll charge you $1,700 for some kind of maintenance package. Now, nobody's ever offered me that before either. I don't know if they, you know, I don't know if that's something that dealerships regularly do. Yeah, I don't know if that's something that dealerships regularly do. But they break it down for you and they go, this is if this is worth $3,800 or $3,200 and you're only paying $1,700. So is that a deal? Maybe it's a deal. He told me that, here's another thing he told me. Every Toyota that comes in, a tire rotation and an oil change is $120. And I was like, no matter what car it is? And he said, yes. I didn't know that was a thing either, no matter what car. So I'm paying, if I have a sedan, if I have the cheapest car, Toyota Corolla sedan, I'm paying the same amount for tire rotation and oil change as somebody coming in with a, what's the name of their truck? Tacoma. That seems a little weird, right? I would assume a Tacoma takes way more oil than a Corolla. I know, Victor. Fuck that. That's what I'm saying. Oh, no. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's insane. What the fuck? I seriously feel like I don't even, it's so, it feels, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Bubba. Wow. Thank you, Bubba. That's incredible. That's incredible. Yeah, this is like, what do you call that? I don't know, the final push for my 30 days. So I'm going to see, even though I've never like, I think I only pitched my Venmo or told people my Venmo like 2 or 3 times. And, yeah, so I'm not even pitching the Venmo and people are sending money. So that's very cool. I didn't expect it and I'm blown away by it. And I feel very grateful. Thank you. If only I could get this cigar to stay lit. So yes, that's the deal with the oil changes. So it's like, okay, that sounds like a deal. So you get, I believe it was 15 oil changes, 15 oil changes and tire rotations for $1,700. But I guess there were other things in the package too. I don't know. I haven't gone over it yet, but the whole thing is just like, you know, they want, of course, everywhere needs to, they want to upsell you. So yes, the maintenance package does mean you have to go to that particular dealership. And it's like, sometimes I need an oil change. If I'm not in at that particular dealership, I travel a lot. So I don't think I would get that package. I don't even know if the tinting package was, I don't even know if that was a deal. And then there was something else. It was like some kind of it's called a wheel lock, which is basically if you get the wheels that have hubcaps and that not rims but hubcaps, they can put a lock on the hubcap for you. to where you need the key to get the hubcap off so that nobody can steal your hubcaps. I have never had anybody steal hubcaps off of my car. Isn't that something that happens in the projects or somewhere? I don't know. It doesn't happen in the middle of nowhere. Who's stealing hubcaps? Why would you steal hubcaps unless they're like, hubcaps aren't even that expensive, right? Like cheap. I don't know. So that was like $300. I'm like, definitely not getting that. Tire lock. Yes. And then there was a fourth thing that the salesman was like, oh, it was a tracker. You put a tracker on your car that lasts for 7 years. And so if your car gets stolen, yeah, if your car gets stolen, no, I do know what I'm talking about. So if your car gets stolen, they know where it is. And it's like, okay, I can buy that myself. I don't have to pay hundreds of dollars, but I guess it's like official, like, whatever. So there was that. And the salesman was like, I'm just going to, just between you and I, he did one of those, just between us. He looked around first like he was about to say the N-word, but he just went, I wouldn't get that if I were you. And I'm like, yeah, I don't need that because I don't have teenagers who are going to run away in this car. So there's like 4 things they want to upsell you on. And then the 5th thing is a requirement. I agree. Some guy will throw a tracker on for free. That is true. It was actually brought up recently. Maybe the hole in this part is too big. I didn't cut this. It was cut for me. That's not going to stay lit probably, but whatever. So, yeah. And then I go over to the Honda and I'm like, are you guys doing this thing where you require to get a tint job or anything like that? And that salesman's like, hell nah, we're not doing anything like that. And I'm like, that's music to my ears. This is why I knew I liked Honda. Probably won't jump over to Toyota. But here's the thing about the Honda CR-V. It has a couple of problems. People are complaining about the sound of the engine. They're saying that the acceleration is way too loud, like louder than it should be. A distracting amount of volume is coming from the motor when you accelerate the Honda CR-V. Also, Apple Play, which I guess is something you can do on the screen there that comes with the car built in, which I don't like. That disconnects regularly. Then there's something else I can't remember. But I'm like, okay, that doesn't sound like that big of a deal. But so I'm looking at SUVs. I probably will test drive a truck at some point. But the small trucks, I don't know, it's weird. Like a small truck holds the same amount of junk as in an SUV. So you might as well get an SUV. But trucks are probably pretty fun. Because if you're getting a gun, you probably need a truck. Although if you have an SUV, that person probably doesn't think you have a gun. But if you have a truck, more likely that you can guess that they have a gun. So the Honda Civic, I drove that. The Honda Civic is the comparable car to the Toyota Corolla, but the Honda Civic is nicer. It costs more. That's probably why. But yeah, it's nicer. Feels good to drive. It's fine, but it's still small. And I had just come from, the CRV and the RAV4. So the RAV4 is great. It feels nice. It's bigger than any car I've ever had. Taller, I mean. I love any car where the back seats lie down flat. But they don't lie down flat in the Toyotas. They do in the Hondas. There's a little bit of a slope in the Toyotas. But what I do like about the Toyotas is that the whole back is a plastic covering that you can peel off it's just Velcroed on. The Honda CRV doesn't have that. That's great because I have bikes and I like to put my bikes in there. I could get the bike rack on the roof of a car, but I don't know. I've never done that. I don't think I like the idea of that. What if I'm going through a shallow tunnel? I also don't like the idea of a bike rack on the back of the car. I just don't like the idea of a bike rack in general. I like being able to fit my bike into the car. So nobody's sitting in the back of any of my cars, So Toyota Highlander, you like? That is a terrific car. I'm seeing a lot about, I looked up the Kia Telluride. That is been listed as the safest car, the 2025. No, I'm sorry, it's a Kia, 2025 Kia Telluride. But that's a 3-row car. I don't need that. I don't need 3 rows of seats. You guys love Ray. Try CarMax. Okay, so I thought about today because I saw somebody say you should lease a car. I've had people tell me that if you're an independent contractor or you're self-employed, you should lease a car. So I don't know. Maybe I should look into that. I don't think it's a great idea. Seems like a better financial investment to buy the car, but yeah. And I also thought about maybe I'll look at cars that are 2 and 3 years old. But that's the thing is you always end up paying anyway. There's no real way to save money on a car unless they give you a good deal when you buy it initially. That's the only way. You can't. If you buy a car that's 3 years old and you think, well, the other person took the depreciation. Okay, well, now you're in a territory where you have to start paying for maintenance. Does the amount of maintenance, does it equal the same as the depreciation that the other person paid? Probably. I don't know. Maybe. Depends on what's going wrong. You also have no idea what that car has been through. I wish I could find a car. I'm still looking. Today was just day 1 of this. So I'm still looking. Obviously, I'll be looking for probably 2 weeks because I do a lot of research about everything. Yeah, Bubba says don't buy a truck because the gas sucks. And there's only a couple of, maybe I don't know this, but I think there's only a couple of trucks that also come as in a hybrid version. And then there's an electric truck. There's electric trucks, but I can't do that. I don't have a house to plug it into. So, yes, the gas mileage stinks on the truck. Here's the other thing I was thinking, because I drove the Toyota RAV4 gas version, and then the salesman said, I want you to drive the Toyota RAV4 hybrid version so that you can see the difference. It has a different feel. So I did, and he was correct. Oh my God, the hybrid version makes the car feel so much sportier. The acceleration is more sensitive. It's like, bam, it's ready to go. Because the battery is kicking in. I don't know. That's what he told me. So I'm thinking about this and I go, wow, the hybrid version does feel better than the gas version. But here's the thing, and I got to do the math on this. So this is just off the top of my head. The amount of money that you save on gas more than the price difference between all gas and hybrid. I need to do the math on that, and I will do the math on that. I won't do it right now because that will probably be pretty boring, and this can't get much more boring. Am I right? Definitely not going to buy a Land Rover, but I want to test drive one. Land Rovers look cool. Oh my God, they look so cool. But I need an envelope. I have many envelopes right here. Envelopes, if you went to, if you have a master's degree. See? From the letters from the loser. There's some empty envelopes in here that I could use. I could read some more of those too. I don't know. Some people, I don't think some people liked it. Some people were triggered by it so much that I had to take them out of my chat. It was insane. Couldn't believe it. Leasing is a great way to buy a high-end car, no money down. Only if you keep it for a long time. Negotiate buyout for a 3-year lease, then you're good. I'm actually gonna take a picture of that because I will research that. Seems like good advice. Do I know for sure? Yeah, I don't have any experience leasing, but I will. See, I'm hesitant to use one of these envelopes here, but oh, I could use this. That's blank. Got it. We're good to go now. I'm good to go now. Get rid of these ashes. Okay. So every what is it? Every wait a minute. Is this, hold on a second. What is this? I think I'm getting emails. Something's wrong with my email. No. Are you kidding me right now? You're crazy, man. You're crazy, man. Thank you. That's going to the monthly total. Wow. Thank you so much. That's insane. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Wow. That's from Bubba. He sent me 2 Zells tonight. That's crazy. Bubba is a crazy, dangerous man. Okay. Stay lit for me. I'm going to have to just puff it constantly to keep it lit. Dave Ramsey calls a lease a fleece. Why is that? Because I don't get it right away. What's the largest audience you've ever played to? Felicia. Probably 800. Opening for is somewhere between 800, probably 800. Opening for Pablo Francisco at the University of Cincinnati. But In 2 weekends, that number might be surpassed. It probably will be surpassed in 2 weekends. I'm doing 2 shows, and both of them are at performing arts centers. One of them seats 1,000, and it was already sold at 50% last we checked, which was like 2 nights ago. And then the other show is a 1,500 seater, and that was at 600 baht. So there's still 2 weeks left to go. So that will probably be surpassed in 2 weeks. That I probably will. And then I've done quite a few that were like 500 people. So 800 though probably. Yeah, Pablo Francisco, that was during his this was years ago. So that was during his time when he was hitting it hard, whatever he was hitting. Cocaine. I don't even know what he was doing. But he was clearly like, he just came out. I mean, you can't really like totally connect with an audience like that of that size. He came out and was in, it's like he hit the NOS button and he just came out and is just like performing the hell out of it, but you could not understand what he was saying, and there were no pauses. It was very fast. And people were laughing, but they're college kids, so they're like laughing, but then after about 10 minutes of it, you're like, "Wait, what's happening?" I all of a sudden can't follow what's going on. Yeah, it was a train wreck, but he did his time, and that was it. He got out of there. Yep. So, yeah, I can't wait to do the math on that thing about gas versus hybrid. Gas savings versus the cost of a battery that goes in the hybrid. And I don't really know what hybrids are. Like, the salesman kind of educated me a little bit, but he said most people just think when they hear hybrid, you plug it in. And that's what I thought. You got to plug it in. Now, I do know I knew somebody with a hybrid years ago. And I'm like, how is this a hybrid if you don't have to plug it in? So, but I guess so it's a battery, and then over time it wears out. But I was told that Toyota's batteries are now in their, I think he said 4th or 5th generations. And he had one woman come in somewhat recently who had a 2nd generation battery, and her car made it to 233,000 miles, and it was on the way to dying. So he said by now they have all the kinks worked out. So it's like, okay, so by now, if you get a hybrid, the other parts of the car are going to be need replaced before the battery will. So if the battery outlasts the rest of the car, then you will be saving gas for the entire lifetime of the car. And I think the price difference in a gas car and a hybrid car is about $3,000. So, are you going to spend $3,000 in gas over the lifetime of the car? Like additional gas than you would with the hybrid. I don't know. That's a lot of money. It might be pretty even. So if you're somebody who's very environmentally conscious or driven that way, then of course you want to do it that way because you don't care. You're like, I'll just do it for the environment, I guess. Even though, I don't know, I've heard that those batteries aren't even good for the environment. But I don't know. I haven't done the research. So the battery that came with my Highlander lasted 7 years, no joke. The replacements last 3 years. Okay. 7 years. That sounds good. Is that good? Let's see. Somebody told me, what was it? Oh, the Camry. I did not test drive the Camry. I couldn't have. I could not have driven all these. I would have, but I did. It just like one salesman's gonna be like, huh, you know. So I had to give that guy a break. I could have kept going, but the Camry, he told me, is only available as a hybrid. So I'll have to go. I'll go to a different dealership, Toyota dealership. I'll see what they're doing. I'll see if they're making it a requirement to get the windows tinted. And the other thing, whatever it was, the fabric protection, I don't know. And I'll test drive a Camry over there and see what the Camry is like. Not interested in the crossover. So I pretty much know everything that Toyota offers now, but I have to test drive the Camry. And tomorrow I'll be going to a Honda dealership and I will be test driving what I was told was the replacement for the Honda Fit, which looks nothing like a Honda Fit. So I don't know why. It's called the Honda. Cannot remember. But it's only a couple of grand difference between this car and the Honda CRV. It's called something else. I don't know. It's like three other letters, but it looks exactly like it looks almost exactly like the Honda CRV. So, and then I was told because the Honda Fit it has been discontinued, which is a shame because I've had two of them. Both of them were totaled by other people, so maybe they get totaled easily, but they're very safe. It's just insane. I should not be alive right now after what happened. It's craziness. Why you say hybrids suck? Tell me why. What are the cons of the hybrid? Um, I can't remember what I was just saying. Oh, the Honda Fit has been discontinued, but it might come back at some point. You know, sometimes cars go away, models go away for a couple of years and they come back. But if they still made it, I would be buying a third one. They're just great. They're fun to drive. No, they're not big, they're small, but they're fun to drive. The gas mileage was insane on the car. Insane. And it fit so much stuff in the back. The seats slide down flat, but also they did this other thing where if the seats were upright in the back, you could pull up the seat part and stand it up so that now you have the whole height advantage. So that it just insane amount of things you could fit in there and deceivingly large. Looks pretty small on the outside. I could fit it. I parallel parked this thing into spaces that I never thought I could get it into. So that was cool. And you're on the inside and you're like, wow, there's so much room in here. It was just great. It was a really great car. Um, Also, I know somebody who is 6'6" and they have a hard time fitting in a lot of cars. And they fit in the Honda Fit just fine. They had headroom. Like, that's crazy. But if you look at it, if you're on the outside of it and you look at it, you're like, that car is tiny. But it was like a magic trick. It was just cool. But I don't miss that particular car of mine at all. I have too many bad memories with it, and uh I was wanting to sell it. I would go back and forth. I'm like, I want to keep it forever, but I also want to sell it. It just had the energy in there was not good. Damn, this thing. This is actually stressful. I also want to test drive a what was the other thing I wanted to test drive? Oh, I'm reading a lot about Mitsubishi's. I don't know, just reading at this about the safest cars is interesting. Because you see these makes and models pop up that you're like, "Huh? Why is that? Why would that be on the list?" There was a Subaru on there, but most of the safest cars they have 3 rows of seats. That's why they're so safe. They're basically like a bus. It's like, I don't need that. I don't have a family. So that would be weird for me to buy a car like that. Volkswagens, I have experience with a couple of those. And yeah, I don't know. I would never buy a Volkswagen. It seems like it would be too expensive to maintain. Yeah, I would wear a Volkswagen Polo. Hate to tell you this, they don't tell you that they get 20 to 30 miles electric, the rest gas. So 30 to 40 miles per gallon. 20 to 30. Lease or buy all used, or lease or buy used all electric. No brake jobs, no oil changes, etc. Way cheaper. Yeah, I saw that on one of the cars that I looked up today. I think it was that Rivian truck, which was the all electric. It's the all electric truck, and I was like, oh, I never even thought about that. There's no oil changes. There's no transmission fluid flush, which I mean, you only really have to do a transmission fluid flush, like maybe you don't even have to do one until 100,000 miles. With this car, I did it at 75,000 miles because I'm on top of it. I was totally ready to make this car last over 300,000 miles. I had just put a bunch of new parts on it, even though I didn't need new parts on it, just so that, you know, they were there. Um, it had a new battery in it. Who's Sergeant? I don't know who that is. Probably because I'm a woman. Subarus have the highest resale value. Really? For some reason, I just don't like the idea of a Subaru. Feels expensive. It feels like it would be an expensive car to maintain. Same with the Volkswagen, like I said. Lease or buy used all electric. So that would be like, I can't get an electric though. I don't have anywhere to plug it in. Unless I just plug it in at a charging station and always do it that way. Oh, the RAV4 is an all-wheel drive car also, so that's probably pretty good about it. And the one that's not a hybrid has a bunch of options where it's like, you know, there are these buttons by the gear shift that say whatever terrain you're in, mud and sand. Like, wow, this sounds exciting. I don't know if I'm going to be that adventurous with my new car, but it makes me feel cool to have a button that says mud and sand on it. One of the Lexus SUVs is rated one of the safest vehicles, I think. So Lexus, I don't know. I don't know. I don't like how a Lexus looks though. I just don't. It doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't make me move, man. Oh, I need to look up the one car. I closed all of my tabs, but there's a car out there. It's called a damn it. I wish I could I'll look it up right now. It's the wrong cap. That's why that's not going on. Volvos. Okay, Volvos. Yeah, I should probably. I'm just gonna spend the whole next 2 weeks going to every dealership and driving every type of car. I think it's fun. I've a great excuse to do it, which is that I need a new car, and I love cars. I think they're interesting. I was supposed to be in California. I want to say a month ago. Well, a month ago, I think, is when I set out to do it. So a month ago. Ford Focus. I test drove a Ford Focus probably 10 years ago, and it felt like, I know they're different now, but it felt like a cardboard box. There's that one, and then what was the other one? I think a Nissan Versa. So I drove a Nissan Versa and a Ford Focus, and I was like, these cars shouldn't even be for sale. These are terrible. So I believe at the time, the Honda Fit, those cars were so cheap, and the Honda Fit was like the third most expensive car ever, and the Nissan Versa was the cheapest. And then the cigar, yeah, it's probably, somebody told me it was too, I think it was Stevie Lou who said if it keeps going out, it's too wet. So I don't know. Yeah, I will hit you up about cars for sure, because I definitely would like to know what's out there. I should throw the cigar away. I don't know, it tastes good. But Fords feel cheap to me. Tupperware cars, I guess it depends on which kind, but yeah, maybe the sedans. The only problem with the Mercedes is every visit to the shop will be $3,000 minimum. I definitely have not heard good things about Mercedes. I know that there's a whole Mercedes versus BMW debate, right? And the car nerds always prefer BMW. BMW is also what it's known as. I'm going to look up real quick, and I can pull it up on the screen here. It was actually a pretty sharp looking car. Now that I know how to do this, I believe something. Yes, this car right here. Also, the website was great, which I don't know if people have watched me. It's called a Genesis, and I saw it on a list of the top safest cars. And something about the Genesis that I really love, I will show you here in a minute. In a second, actually. It won't even take a whole minute. And I hope my thing doesn't crash. Sometimes it crashes when I try to do this. I clicked on the wrong thing, so give me 1 second here. Hyundai Santa Cruz. See, for some reason, just the name Hyundai scares me, because I'm just so unfamiliar with it. There we go. So this is what I wanted to show you. Let me see if I can make this even bigger. Doesn't make it that much bigger. But I'll put myself down there in the corner anyway. So this is the Genesis G80. Okay. And it's a good looking car. Like, that car is very sharp and handsome. And since it's rated one of the safest cars, that's I didn't know this car existed. But the front of that car looks nice. So, and the inside looks nice. Look at that. Isn't that great? So the thing I love about this is that the screen, see that screen? It's not just like a boxy rectangular or square screen in the middle of the dash. I love that it goes all the way across. That's so sleek and simplistic. I mean, really, what a great idea. So I love that there's no division there. It's just it's so clean. So I love that about it. And then I noticed that there is another car out there that has the same thing, but I can't remember what car it was. But this car was very interesting to me. And obviously it looks nice. It looks luxurious and it's expensive. But yeah, these little things, this dial here. And it just is a cool looking car. So I thought it was interesting that a car like this was, I think, in the top 5 highest rated for safety. The Genesis G80. I don't even know where you get a car like this. I mean, I'm in the middle of the country a lot. I've never seen a dealership, a Genesis dealership. So, I don't know. That's sharp, red sharp. What is that? That's cool. The blue one. It's nice. Blue and red. That's supposed to be, okay, that's great. Yeah, look at those. Those tires are nice too. Now that's just great. That's just a great screen. It's fantastic. All around great looking car, inside and out. There are probably not any photos of the back seat. And I guess this is also an all-wheel drive. Look at the front of it, man. That is so cool. God, that's cool. See, this is what you have to look like if you drive a car like that. You have to be draped. You have to be just dripping in sweater. So that was one of the safest cars out there. Oh, here's the other one. So this one was also, I believe, in the top 5 for safety. It's Subaru Ascent. And this is the one that has 3 rows of seats, which I don't need at all because I don't have a family. But you know, it looks like a car that can do a lot. I love this green. There is a lot of vehicles have this color as an option now, and I'm into it. I mean, because it's like, I like green. I don't necessarily like this hunter green or forest green. Oh, it's a military green. But it's better than, you know, your boring red, black, white, even blue. So if I can get a green, I'll get a green in a different vehicle, obviously. So there you go. That is the Subaru Ascent. I'll show you the inside. See, here's what I mean about the inside, but I like this part of the website too. This is very convenient to be able to do this. So I just hate that. I hate that screen in the like smack in the middle of the thing. It's like it looks like I'm about to be looking at my own X-ray, you know? Like I can sit in the car and just wait for the test results. I don't like it. So, too many buttons. I don't like all of that. And that's there's your 3 rows of seats. So many windows. Wow. Yeah. So, I don't need that. I don't need that. I already looked at the Land Rover website, so I won't pull that back up, but I do want to pull back up the Lexus website. Because I want to see the car that they told me about that was one of the top safest. It was one of the SUVs. I don't know much about Lexus. It wasn't that one. Let's see. Ah, these are the okay. It was something else. What was it? It wasn't. I don't remember it being any of these. I think it was the UX. Okay, so I think it was this one. And that's not a bad looking car if you're just looking at a photo, but in person, I feel like I've seen them in person and I'm just not impressed with the way that they look. Once again, there's the military green, but they're calling it a nori green pearl. That's a pretty cool color. I love copper, but that is not what it looks like in person. It looks much shinier here in the photo. It pops. Boring, 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 boring. But I want to see the inside. I want to see the inside. Oh, good. It's a driver inspired interior. That's great. I wouldn't, I wouldn't want it to be inspired by someone who walks all the time. Okay, there's some photos of the inside. Once again, big, clunky, fucking screen. 2 screens. I don't want 2 screens. 1 screen, sleek. Yeah, okay. So, once again, it's just me. I'm sure it's me having trouble finding photos of the inside. Okay, there's a photo of the inside. Okay, that doesn't look that exciting. Very bland. Okay, so will you show me the inside if I click here? Hmm. Once again, unable. I am unable. So the thing about all of this driver assistance things on these cars, the salesmen are telling me that you can turn those off. You don't have to turn them off every time you get in the car, but I suspect that you might have to. And I did experience it today. And I didn't like it. It's the kind of thing that would make me feel like it just makes me feel like I hate it. Okay, so that was it. That's that. Now here's that all-electric truck that I actually have never looked at. So this will be fun for me. Not for you if you're not into this. The R1T. I like the front. I remember seeing it for the first time and I was like, ooh, that's interesting. I obviously can't get this car, but freezing up here. I think my thing's about to crash. I can't see the mouse once it goes onto the site. So there we go. View gallery. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of a cool looking car. AI-ish. Looks like it has a face on the front. Don't really like that, but yeah, it's futuristic. Oh, I want to see the inside though. No, that one looks cool too. Okay. Adding access to 17,800 plus Tesla superchargers. So you can charge this at a Tesla charging station. I don't know. Can you charge everything at a Tesla charging station? I don't know how electric vehicles work. I want to see the inside of the R1T. Please let me see the inside. Okay. Whoa, look at that. Gear tunnel storage. That's pretty cool. Okay, here we go. Interior. That's what I'm looking for. Ooh, all right. Every inch is intentional. Oh my God, that's sexy. Okay. Oh, it has one of those, the whole roof can be opened. Oh, that's cool. I'm not sure what's going on there. Oh, those are the interior options. Yeah, this truck looks cool on the inside. Love it. Simplistic there. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'd like to see a shot from the front of the truck into the back of the truck, into the back seat of the truck. That does not exist here. That's cool. Yeah, that's a cool looking truck. Probably can go, what, 400, between 3 and 400 miles on one charge. I wasn't able to see the chat while I was doing that, so. No Mini Coopers. Nope. No Mini Coopers for me. Don't want it. Oh, McLaren, you are so right. Like I said before, at some point in one of these chats, or I mean live streams, I saw a McLaren in person for the first time when I was in Orlando. I went to a supercar show. I just went down there to meet owners because that's when I was doing my like thing that I was filming myself, interviewing car owners, and there were a lot of Porsche, a lot of Lamborghini, a lot of everything, Corvette, and there was a McLaren there, and I was like, "What the hell is that?" I'd never seen a McLaren, so I'm like, "Oh my god, a McLaren is beautiful." Like to me, it looks better than a Lamborghini. Lamborghinis are incredible. They're amazing. They're gorgeous, but a McLaren in person, for some reason, if you look at a photo of a McLaren, it's just like it's not the same as seeing it in person. That happens sometimes. It's like watching Dave Attell on TV, you know? You're like this is okay, but then you see him in person, you're like, "Oh, this is the best comedian ever." Yeah, McLarens are gorgeous. El Caminos I'm not into. Isn't that funny? Like I just they don't do anything for me. But I love vintage cars. I love them so much. Wow. You guys were really firing up the chat while I was looking at that. Okay, here we go. Audi. I don't know. There's something about Audi that I don't feel connected to or with. Chevy Nova. Hmm. Oh, my salesman today told me that the Honda Fit is only discontinued. They still make it, but they make it over in Japan. It's they just don't bring it to the States anymore. So that's what's weird. It's like why are you punishing us? Damn it. This is insane. I guess I've had enough. I'll have a couple more. I'll have a couple more puffs and then I'll be good. What's too big for me, Trucker Tommy? Which one? The Rivian or the Subaru? All of them, really. The ones that I pulled up are all too big for me, except for that one sedan, the Genesis. Well, I don't know. I probably would have purchased some type of crotch rocket at some point in my life because I like stuff like that. I like adrenaline rushes, but also too scary. So definitely somebody who needs. I prefer a jet ski. I'd ride a jet ski over a motorcycle or a Suzuki type, whatever you want to call those things. Motorbike, I don't know. But I have experience with jet skis, and jet skis are great because if you fall off a jet ski, you land in the water. You can still get severely injured, but at least you're really not hitting anything solid unless you're going at a very high speed and then the water of course feels like concrete, but I would never do that. I would never go at a very high speed, a speed that high in a jet on a jet ski. Probably not a Mini Cooper. Transit, what is that? Well, Aston Martin, yes. Yeah. The Rivian is Mazda. I'm not sure. I mean, I've heard, I know people talk about Mazda. They do. Mazda gets talked about, but I I don't even think I'm gonna dive into Mazda. Yeah, I've heard the Mazda 3 is like incredible. Well, as far as whatever kind of car it is. Mm-hmm. Crotch rocket. Crotch rocket. So there you go. That's an update. That's an update. I don't know if I'm gonna get to 2 hours tonight. It's already 12:15, so I started pretty late. I don't have a consistent time yet. I am hashing out this current concept I have. I'm running it by a lot of people. It has good legs, but it's like I'm not gonna do it until until something's. I gotta let the idea bake for a little bit, which I know is not what you do as a live streamer. You just throw up as much stuff as you can as fast as you can and you just come up, but I want to do something of quality. So I have come up with a couple of ideas over the years, but couldn't figure out a way to really do any of them because I don't really have a budget, you know. So yep, Lincoln, there are Lincolns here. They look okay. Well, I can't critique other comedian sets on YouTube because of the copyright, because of the terms of service. Plus, I don't know if that is, I mean, I don't really have much to say when it comes to other comedian sets. I mean, I'm sure I do, but it's like I would just be saying the same things over and over. And it's very difficult for me to watch a lot of people for more than 30 seconds because, after doing comedy for so long, you really don't watch. You can tell if somebody's funny or not before they even go on stage. You can tell if somebody's funny or not if they're on stage, before they even open their mouths. There is a guy that I would like for you guys to listen to, but his special isn't out yet. I got a VIP access to the link and I listened to it on my drive yesterday and it was good. It was good. The guy's not famous. He's never going to be famous probably, but that's the nature of the business. And he is just a solid joke writer. There's a lot of guys like that. I feel like guys like that need to be, they would be perfect for, they would be perfect writers for talk shows. But talk shows aren't funny anymore. I haven't even watched a talk show in years. Colbert was too political immediately. I loved it up at the top. I was like, this is great. This is inventive. Okay. I get these bits are okay. And then it just turned so political every single night was about Trump. And I'm like, why? We're doing this every night? This is insane. And I was excited about Colbert too. I actually ended up cutting out some kind of article that this was like back when I don't remember what year he took over, but this was back when I had a physical copy of something, and he said that he was going to put more female comics on because he was taking over for Letterman, and Letterman got a lot of crap for not putting on more women, more female comics. And then, of course, Eddie Brill puts on Karen Rontowski, which is like, okay, like I get it. I know her. I met her. I lived in Minnesota, but like, that's what Eddie Brill would do. He'd be like, okay, you want more women? I'll give you this woman. And you're like, that's not what we meant. But so when Colbert took over, he was like, he like made a promise in print. He was like, I promise you that I will platform more female comedians. I will do that. And I was like, oh, that's great. Like, thank you. And I don't even know if he did or not, because I quit watching because every night was political. Like, this is, you're beating a dead horse here. I can't do it. Sorry. And then Fallon was kind of like, Fallon was like, I just felt too old. And I wasn't old, but I felt too old to watch Fallon. I was like, oh, this is like SNL. These are for people in high school, which I guess it always sort of has been. Comedy Central kind of, they were aiming their stuff at that demographic. I guess those are the people who watch a lot of TV at the time. So, but even Fallon, I was like, wait a minute, you should shouldn't you? I don't know. I just felt like you should kind of grow with your fan base, right? I watched Jimmy Fallon on SNL when I was in high school. Now I'm out of high school and he hosts the Tonight Show. So, but he's still doing shows for people in high school. So it was just very, it took a weird turn that, felt a little bit too immature for my taste. Not immature in like a bad way, just immature in a way that was not stimulating at all for somebody like me. Wait, what's that say? Yeah, I think you mentioned Aaron Chen. Oh, on Seth Meyers. And I didn't see that. Yep, Colbert Report it was very good. But man, when Jon Stewart came back to the Daily Show, that was actually exciting. That was like, and I know it's like, okay, how much of that is nostalgia versus quality? Why am I excited? But then I watched it and I was like, this is pretty good. It is tough to see Jon Stewart not have to, but it was tough to see him be working with these people who, that the whole tone of the show had changed. I think it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. And it's hard to be unbiased, I guess, when you've watched something. But Jon Stewart coming back felt like it was desperately needed. No, I disagree, Tom. I think that Stewart's return was good. I thought it was really good. I thought that he brought an angle to it that was desperately needed, that everybody was thirsty for, and it was the reason that we watched The Daily Show in the first place. But I didn't keep up with it. And what's the other one with John Oliver? Last Week Tonight, that show used to be exciting too. I remember thinking like, oh my God, I could totally write for this show. I know exactly the tone, like the energy and the tone and the sense of humor. I was like, I could write for this show. But that show also took a strange turn. It was always a little bit preachy, but it got even preachier. So I stopped having fun watching that after a while. But John Oliver has won like an Emmy almost every single year, right? He has so many Emmys. So Kimmel, I haven't seen in a long time. COVID really changed a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. You guys want to read a love letter from a loser? I mean, I've got a pile of them right here. We might as well. I've run out of car talk. Oh, I'll read this Valentine's Day card. That's convenient. Valentine's Day wasn't too long ago. So this is Valentine's Day. Oh wow, I'm surprised it's not dated. He dated everything, including other women while he was dating with me. All right, so it is dated. Duh. And it's Valentine's Day. I'm an idiot. Okay, but it's from 2017, which is the year we've pretty much been going through. It says, Felicia, congratulations. You have been chosen to be my Valentine. It's kind of a whether you like it or not type deal. That's very true. That was very true. I feel a lot of love for you, and I know that it is real. I know that loving me has not been easy, but I am very much in love with you. And my feelings for you come from a very real place. Wow. Just the fucking immediate gaslighting. Like, no, I'm in love with you and you need to believe it. And yes, it's real. Okay. I am viewing my life with a very clear head. And I know for a fact that you have helped me grow as a person a great deal over the last several months. So take this information and do what you want with it. I may be a fucking disaster, but my goal is to love you unconditionally. And I am in the process of learning how to do that. Maybe you just don't have it in you. If you need to learn how, maybe you don't have it in you. Maybe I'm not the one, for real. I know that I have fallen short at times and that I have brought you a significant amount of pain, but I don't have a lot of experience being a whole person. It's not a cop out. I think that you understand this, but I do care about you, the person, in the realest of ways. So we're going back to that it's real. It's real. You really did come into my life and turn it upside down. I have the most appreciation a person could have for the love and support and insight that you have given me. Without you, I would not be the person that I am today. That is really saying something. So happy Valentine's Day. Please accept these delicious chocolates as a small token of my affection and love for you. I hope that you will enjoy them over the course of the next 48 hours because I know you. Hope you have a great day, and I hope you take comfort in knowing that there is an extremely dysfunctional man who thinks the world of you. See, that one wasn't as heavy. It's pretty good. A little heaviness, a little like sprinkle of heaviness, but. Well, I keep these because they're fascinating. I don't know if you were here last night, but wow. Yes, his BS is exquisite. I agree. And he does know how to self promote. I agree with you there too. problem with these the problem with these is that there aren't really a lot of short ones. A lot of these letters are very long. I'll just do one more. I'll do a birthday card. No, this is probably not from Who You Assume. So, this is a birthday card. Okay. I don't know. I don't know, man. Once again, front, all right, all of it. He didn't do the back this time, so there you go. All caps. But here's the thing. The card, and then he also included a little extra. In case I get somewhere around here and start feeling sad, I could go to this one that was included in here. Okay, let's dive into this one. Felicia, happy birthday. Wow. Seems like just yesterday you was my baby girl. Cheek of tan, ready to take on the world. I know that you are still ready to take on the world, and you will win. And then in parentheses, it says about this card. I don't know what that means. I once considered a career as a foot model. Oh, okay. It's about this, literally about this card. People offered me lots of money to be the before and after pics. I turned it down because I felt like I was being exploited. Seriously, though, this is a very important day. The day you came into this world. You may not think it is such a huge deal, but it certainly is to me. My life has changed dramatically since I met you, and I appreciate the love and support that you've given me. I know you have done the same for lots of other people too, but I am an extreme case. So I wanted to let you know on this day, you are very special. There will never be another person like you till the end of time, and that's a shame. The world could use a few more Felicia Gillespies. You are a beautiful person, and you bring joy to this world. Thank you for being you. Now, for some reason, there's another one wedged into the card, but it's a whole separate thing. So I'm not sure if I think what happened was he was writing this. Maybe we'll find out. Maybe we'll find out as we read it, because I wanted to make sure that this was something that I didn't shove in here myself, but I don't think I did. Okay, Felicia, I'm not even sure where to start with this letter. He doesn't know where to start. He doesn't even know. There's so many thoughts. Things are very weird right now. I feel like we are truly at a crossroads in regards to whether or not we are going to be in each other's lives. Whether or not we are supposed to be in each other's lives. That is something I have never questioned. Wow. I look at meeting you as a blessing for sure. I guess the question is, are we supposed to remain in each other's lives? That is a question that is looming very large right now. It is a question so large that I almost wonder how much control we have over it. I would not be surprised if this thing was in my birthday card intentionally. Okay. It is one of those things that has already been decided in some kind of, is it one of those things? Is it one of those things that has already been decided in some kind of cosmic way? I would like to believe that it is something that we have a considerable amount of control over. We absolutely did. We absolutely did have all control over it. He was a basket case. But I can't possibly know that for sure. Sure, because it's easier to blame the cosmos than take accountability for your actions. I guess it all goes back to the free will question. I can only tell you what my desire is. And I guess that you believe that those desires are clouded. But my desire is and always has been to build something long term with you. I am not looking for a placeholder. I am not looking to just hang out. And I am not only in a relationship for sex. I want something real and lasting. And yes, a lot of my actions contradict that. But I feel like I have learned from many of the mistakes, and I have corrected a lot of the worst behavior that I have exhibited. Well, if that were the case, I don't think he would be writing this letter. I appreciate the fact that you have given me so many opportunities and chances to show you that I have the ability to be part of a committed relationship. Well, I regret it, to be honest with you. I regret giving him all of those chances and opportunities. Now, that doesn't mean I don't still do things that are hurtful or insensitive, but I have completely stopped talking to and trying to get the attention of other women. He's trying to convince himself that this is true. So right here, there's a break in the letter where, the color of the ink changes, and he puts the date. So this says, I started this several weeks ago. And some of the information may be irrelevant, and some of it isn't. I started writing the first 2 pages after we got back together, after being on the verge of breaking up. I am realizing that I have a lot more control over this than I had originally thought. The things I do, my actions, have more of an impact than my words or desires ever will. So while my desire might be to be in a lasting relationship with you, I need to show you through my actions. That's just where it ends. And that was included in my birthday card. This guy really sounds like he's a full-grown adult just learning how to be a person. Incredible. Incredible what happens in this life. So there you go. That's a Valentine's Day card and a birthday card with a side note. The guy had side chicks and side notes. Go figure. Well, I think I will end the live stream here because I've run out of things to talk about. Let me visit here in the chat real quick to see what's going on. Felicia, why didn't you direct him to the nearest bridge? Well, I would never. It's already disturbing. Yep. There's a disturbing tone to it all. He sent you the Ukrainian flag. He was on a roll. The muse possessed him. Barf. He would eat a fat girl's ass on the first date. Yep. He would propose to a fat girl on their first date while he was still in another relationship. You are his soulmate. You know, that's one of the things that they do is they kind of convince you that that's the case. This guy is gayer than a Mini Cooper. You know, he was. He was actually gay, yeah. Uh let's see here. You should have seen if there was money in the card and thrown the card away like a kid with his great aunt. He always bought me things, but he never bought me things that were things that I like. I think there was one thing that he bought me that I liked. One thing ever. And I lost it somewhere over the years. Or it broke, I think. It was a necklace that was a it was a it was a tiger's eye crystal carved into the shape of an elephant, and it had ruby. It had like actual ivory tusks and ruby eyes and a couple other jewels in it. It wasn't expensive, but it was pretty cool. Like when I saw it, I was like, "This is great," and I loved it. That was the only thing he ever got me that I liked. Everything else he got me was something that he liked. One time for Christmas, he bought me a stereo system, but it was like from the 80s, and he got it from like one of those used thrift stores or something, like a Goodwill or something. And he was like, I had to get it. It was only $15, but it was a 3-piece gigantic system that he just brought into my living room, and he wrapped each piece in gift wrap. And I was like, at first I thought it was going to be a fish tank because I'm like, he knows I like fish and that I would like to have an aquarium. No, it was the middle part of a speaker, and then or whatever, a radio or something with a record player on the top that opens at the top with the glass, and then 2 gigantic speakers hooked up to it. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is a piece of furniture. You just bought a piece of furniture for my place. It takes up so much space, and this is something you are into. This isn't one of my hobbies. Um, but that's just the kind of guy that he was. He was self-absorbed. So it was weird. Okay. Yes, he did. He wanted to cover all the angles and answer questions that you might even ask. Yep. Yep. Nope, he never hit me. Not that one. I don't know what Blues Traveler song you are talking about that you want my opinion on. But I'll end it there. My cigar won't stay lit, but I've had enough of it. Thanks for watching. And good God, thank you to Bubba for the Zells. Incredible. Incredible. This is my yeah, so I got 2 more nights, and then I will be officially I will have officially live streamed for a month. All right. Wow. Wow, wow, wow.